Welcome to This Explainer. You know, back in 2023, there was this absolutely thrilling geological anomaly out in the Atlantic Ocean that gave us an unprecedented, real-time look at exactly how the seafloor creates land. It's a wild story, so let's just dive right into the data.
12,000. Let that number sink in for a second. That is the staggering amount of earthquakes we detected beneath the Atlantic Ocean in a single month in 2023. I mean, think about the sheer scale of that for a minute. We're talking hundreds of seismic events every single day, just relentlessly rattling the ocean floor. It's the kind of intense activity that instantly puts scientists on high alert because it was a massive red flag that something monumental was happening just beneath the waves.
So imagine being inside this high-tech ocean monitoring center as this is happening. Dr. Sophia, one of the lead scientists, is staring at the seismic map as this unprecedented swarm unfolds, and she just asks, "Another earthquake?" That quote right there really captures the raw surprise in the room. I mean, even for seasoned experts who literally study tectonic movements for a living, the sheer frequency of these anomalies was completely baffling. They were watching a mystery unfold in real time. Answering her disbelief, seismologist Daniel confirmed the staggering data, saying that's number 12,000 this month. And you have to understand, this wasn't your normal background tremor. Hitting that 12,000 mark meant the crust was under an immense localized stress. The Earth's chaotic energy was just focusing incredibly intensely on one very specific region. And that's when the puzzle pieces started clicking into place. Marine geologist Emma pointed out a really profound, terrifying reality. They're all coming from the same place. A highly concentrated swarm of 12,000 earthquakes, all firing off from a single spot deep in the ocean. That means the Earth's crust is experiencing immense, targeted stress. Something was trying to punch its way through. Suddenly, this blaring alert flashes across their screens, magnitude increasing. The data was spiking violently, and Daniel realized exactly what was going on down there. The actual seabed was ripping open. All that pressure from 12,000 localized quakes had finally overcome the crust's structural integrity, and the solid rock was literally giving way. Let's look at this timeline, because the escalation here was ferociously fast. On day 1, the initial quakes are detected. By week 2, they hit that massive 12,000 milestone, which shows a severe acceleration of the stress. And then, by week 4, the crust hits its absolute breaking point, culminating in a violent rupture. So in just one single month, the seafloor underwent this rapid, catastrophic transformation. Which brings us to Section 1, Discovering the Ocean Crack. A few days later, they urgently deployed a research aircraft to fly directly over the anomaly to see what was actually going on. Pointing downward from the cockpit, pilot James gives the team their very first visual confirmation, just shouting, "Look!" At this point, they're no longer just staring at numbers on a screen. They are looking at the physical scars of the Earth tearing itself open. Right below the aircraft, this incredibly long, dramatic crock stretched completely across the ocean floor. The seabed had essentially unzipped itself, revealing the dark, mysterious depths beneath the crust. A massive chasm had just opened up beneath the crushing weight of the ocean. It was an event that literally altered the geography of the planet in the blink of an eye. Moving on to Section 2, How Seafloor Becomes Land. So here is the exact mechanism of how this happens in action. It's a crazy 3-step process. Step 1, the seabed breaks apart, driven by those 12,000 quakes. Step 2, superheated molten rock, or magma, from the Earth's mantle violently pours upward. Actually, scratch that. It more like blasts upward into that freezing ocean water. And Step 3, that rapid thermal shock causes the magma to cool almost instantly, crystallizing into brand new oceanic crust. Right there, through seafloor spreading, the Earth is actively generating new physical matter. Reviewing this whole process, Dr. Sophia really hit the nail on the head. She smiled, realizing what her team had just documented, and said, "We're watching Earth create itself." Because they weren't just observing an earthquake anymore, right? They were witnessing the active, real-time generation of planetary crust. They were watching the planet literally build its own floor. Let's look at Section 3, the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Okay, so this all took place at the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which is this massive underwater mountain range. It's a divergent boundary, meaning it's one of the rare zones where tectonic plates are actively pulling apart from each other. That continuous pulling creates a constant zone of weakness in the crust, which makes it the absolute perfect environment for magma to rise up and spark the exact kind of massive land-creating event that the team witnessed. And because of this continuous magma upwelling at the divergent zone, we get this fascinating geographical reality. North America and Europe are actually drifting a little farther from each other every single year. The new basaltic crust being born down there acts like a giant geological conveyor belt. So as new land is created, it pushes the older land masses outward, steadily increasing the distance between those two enormous continents.
Now, obviously, humans never notice this on a day-to-day basis because the tectonic divergence is incredibly slow on a human timescale. But as the 2023 seismic swarm proved in such a dramatic fashion, our Earth is highly, highly active. The whole shebang is constantly rebuilding itself beneath the waves through these exact geological mechanisms.
Which leads us to our final section, unseen changes on Earth.
So I want to leave you with this provocative question to chew on. If massive new layers of crust are secretly being born right now in the freezing, dark depths of the Atlantic, an event only revealed to us by 12,000 concentrated earthquakes, what else is changing where no one can see it? It's pretty wild to think about. Keep questioning the complex world around you, and thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.